Okay, so let's speak about what is the situation at the moment on USD SEK. Now, why it is a very interesting situation on this pair? Because at the moment, the weekly time frame is not aligning with what we have from a daily perspective, as I will now show you. So we have to wait for the two time frames to align. But if they will to the upside, then we have a very high probability trade scenario. Now, from a weekly perspective, what is the situation? The market created this first impulse to the upside, followed by a first move down, tried to make another impulse, failed, and basically created this complex correction, which is something that the market does very often. Now, at the moment, where are we? We are at weekly support. So from here, we're supposed to see the market make a move to the upside. Now, let's go down on the daily time frame, because here we know that we have previous resistance, now turn support. If we take our Fibonacci from the low to the high of this impulse to measure the retracement, we can see that the market already hit the 0.618, aka the golden ratio, from a weekly perspective that has already basically shown to be aligned with the structure. So a very strong confluence of support from a weekly perspective at this region. This is what we have to keep in our mind. We have a strong confluence of support from a weekly perspective. Now, what happens if we go down on the daily? On the daily time frame, we have a completely different story, because on the daily, the market created this impulse to the downside, creating a lower low and breaking below this structure, which was the previous support, which is now turned resistance. And in fact, the market has already retested it and started the move to the downside. Now, in this kind of situations, what does it mean? It means that we have support at this area from a weekly perspective and resistance at this area from a daily perspective. This is one of those situations in which it doesn't matter if you're looking for a buy or for a sell. In both cases, is a high risk setup, therefore not really worth it, because you basically have anyway structure to the opposite side on two main time frames, like a weekly and a daily. So where would the best probability and best risk to reward basically come into place if we see the market basically align the daily and the weekly? Now, let's first go and see what is the situation from a COT perspective on the US dollar index to see what kind of situation we have there. So let's go and get our COT data and see basically what kind of situation we have. Now, let's go and get the US dollar index. So what kind of situation we have on the US dollar index? We can see that hedge funds have been opening both shorts and longs. However, they opened more longs than shorts. In fact, we can see net positions clearly increasing. Now, it will be very interesting to see what kind of situation we will have with the new report that basically they will, the new report that will come out today. And I want to see possibly some shorts closing, which would definitely correlate pretty well with what would be the best situation on USD SEK. Now, as usual, guys, trading is not predictive. Trading is reactive. So the market can easily continue to melt from here. Doesn't mean that they have to break to the upside. But I'm saying if the market will actually break to the upside, then at that point, what we would have the weekly time frame aligning with the daily. Actually the daily aligning with the weekly, and basically the market would have created this W formation. Now, if this will happen, first of all, there is one shorting opportunity back to the neckline. After a W formation, you want to see the market retest the neckline. So first, we will be monitoring price action with students on the 4-hour time frame, waiting for the market to show us one of our valid entries for the move to the downside. And then we will absolutely be monitoring price action on the 4-hour time frame inside of this region for a long position, basically for the creation of a higher high from a weekly perspective with a very high risk to reward. So these are the two options, the two trades that the market will present if it will actually explode to the upside. If from here it will just melt, then the weekly support will be broken and we will have to adjust to the new market structure for a possible short position, because at that point, basically we will have also the weekly structure that we identified at the beginning of the video broken to the downside. But that is something that we will speak about after the move to the downside will actually happen. At the moment, I would like to basically see this move to the upside, and we will see if the market will actually bring it. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.